caravan in the Comox Valley, and so if we do, that would be part of my Change Day thing. So hopefully soon.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Andrea. Thanks for joining us. And next on the list, we've got, I'll just go through my list I've got here. Tanya Shaw.
Hi. I'm actually with BCSRT. I'm a director at large for our association, and I'm a respiratory therapist that works at Surrey Memorial Hospital. And since I work in the intensive care unit, my pledge was just to help coordinate and transport our ventilatory-dependent patients outdoors to spend time with their families.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Tanya.
You're welcome.
I don't know if we have Joshua on the call yet. Are you on the call, Josh? All right, we'll move down. Bill Cavers, are you on the call? All right, Kathy, it's next to you.
Kathy Weir, Director of Quality Improvement and Patient Safety with Fraser Health. I'm really excited about Change Day BC, and my pledge is to shadow a porter in a hospital for one shift at each of our hospitals once a month between now and Change Day in October. And I think I might just keep doing it after that as well, till I've done all of our sites. And I did my first day on March 13th, and it was absolutely amazing.
Oh, do you want to tell us a little more about that, Kathy?
Well, yeah, a couple minutes. I chose this as my pledge because of a patient story that inspired me to really walk in the shoes of a porter and see all the ways in which they care for patients as they move them around the hospital from place to place, and how they manage care transitions, how they often fill in a lot of the gaps in communication and the caring and compassion that goes along with moving throughout the hospital with vulnerable patients. And yeah, I was absolutely struck by the high level of compassion, caring, kindness, and expertise that porters have as they do their job, and the high level of commitment that I saw, particularly in the two that I worked with on that day. I was exhausted at the end of the shift, absolutely exhausted. It's been a long time since I've run through a hospital all day long, and wow, I have so much respect. Kudos to our porters, and I can't wait till the next time. It had such a deep emotional impact on me that I still feel it today as if I just did it yesterday.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for sharing that. Linda Comazetto, your name, organization, and what your Change Day BC pledge is.
Hi, it's Linda Comazetto. I'm the Corporate Director for Quality Risk and Accreditation in Interior Health, and I haven't made my pledge yet. I'm still thinking about it.
Wonderful. Thanks, Linda. Thanks for joining us today. It's great to have you on the call.
Thanks.
Teresa. Oh, Teresa, your line might be muted still. Let's make sure you can talk. Are you there, Teresa?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wonderful. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name's Teresa McFadgen, and I'm president of the Licensed Practical Nurse Association of British Columbia. I work in Victoria at the Jubilee Hospital in an oncology, very busy oncology and general medicine unit. And my pledge was to continue to make sure that we include. Hello?
Yep, we're still here.
Oh, okay. To continue to engage my patients in making their wants an integral part of the day and night, because so much of what happens in an acute care environment is we get very task-oriented, and we have to do this, we have to do this, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and that takes away so much of the patient's autonomy. So I tend to nurse more about, you know what, I have to bring you your pills, we have to do these tasks, but the rest of the day is yours. So please let me know what's going to make your day as best possible and to your normal, because the hospital environment is very not normal for people. So trying to engage them to make it a comfortable, positive experience for them, and then sharing that with the team that I work with, because we work with OTs, PTs, doctors, speech language pathologists, all those sorts of things. So making sure that the whole team is on board, and I've been talking about this Change BC with them, and I've challenged my unit manager to challenge other units within Island Health to do the same.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Teresa. That's brilliant. Do we have Camille on the call or Sue? Either of you joined us? No? So we'll hand it to Jacqueline. I think you're on the call.
I am. Hi, it's Jacqueline Purr. I'm the Interim Executive Director for Quality, Patient Safety, Infection Control, and Community Engagement at Vancouver Coastal Health. My Change Day BC pledge was to spend a day every week and visiting a patient in one of our 3 campuses to hear about their experiences and what we can do to improve that experience, either a patient or a family. So I went and did it yesterday, and I was very humbled by the positivity of the family in terms of they felt very supported by our nursing staff and communications that they were receiving around their loved ones' status. They were currently in the operating room at the time. They were in the ICU waiting room. So they were, of course, very, very frightened, very, very anxious, and they were very impressed with how often they were given updates on how their loved one was doing. So it was very validating because I know we do great work, and as a nurse, it was very satisfying to know that that effort was appreciated by the families.
Thanks a lot, Jacqueline. And thanks for joining us today. How about Richard and Adele?
Thank you. Yes, it's Richard Bachand. I'm the Acting Executive Director for Quality and Safety with Island Health. And Jacqueline, you kind of took my pledge because I had the same pledge. However, you have actually acted on yours and I have not. So my thoughts were to do the same thing. Once a week, go and visit one patient and really talk about and learn about the experience. And so you've encouraged me, Jacqueline, to maybe pull the trigger on that next week.
Anytime, Richard, anytime.
And is Adele?
Hi, I'm Adele Harrison. I'm an Executive Medical Director with Island Health, and I have to fess up and say I haven't made a pledge yet, but I'll be on it.
Oh, we look forward to seeing it then, Adele.
Thanks.
Thanks for joining us, you guys. Is Ev on the call?
I'm Colleen.
Hi, Ev. How are you doing?
I'm not too bad, thanks. How are you?
I'm great, thanks.
I'm Ev Pollack, and I'm the lead for patient experience and ethics, and I'm actually here on Rita Donatter's behalf. Rita's on vacation this week, and she's our executive director for patient experience. I've been thinking a lot about the Change Day, and something that I experienced last week, I guess it was how staff had, with my ethics hat on, staff had a very difficult situation trying to meet patient care requirements, and their own personal experience was so challenged and very difficult. So my pledge is to make sure that every time I have an opportunity I will link the staff experience importance with the patient experience at the same time, because to me you can't have one without the other.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Great to hear your voice again, too, Ev. It's been a while since I've seen you.
Yep,
Nice to see you. Thank you. And I know Joshua joined the call. Joshua, we're just doing a quick introduction of ourselves, our name, our organization, and what your pledge is for Change Day.
Oh, I'm sorry I'm late. I had another meeting and it just went over time. Very excited to be here, of course.
Welcome. And Joshua, do you want to just share which organization you're with and your Change Day pledge?
I'm with the Camp Carey Society. We offer bereavement services for families and also for professionals as well. And I found out about the Change Day, I guess it was on Twitter. And I guess I joined on your launch day, and I thought it was just a really good cause. And it kind of aligns with our philosophy, believe that everybody can definitely make a positive impact in the world. So I signed up personally with the goal to try and bring some healing to at least 30 more families within our area this year. And then our office kind of jumped on board, and here we are.
Nice. Thank you so much for joining us, Joshua. Robin Speedy.
Hi, Colleen. Sorry, just taking myself off mute. Hi, everyone. My name is Robin. I am Leader of Innovation and Engagement with the Quality Council. My Change Day pledge is to volunteer with seniors in my community to help them stay living at home comfortably for longer. So I am working with the Association of Neighborhood Houses of BC to help with grocery shopping and getting to and from appointments and just general social time.
Thanks so much, Robin. Brilliant pledge. Andy.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andy. I'm the Engagement and Campaign Specialist here at BCPSQC. And yeah, my pledge is just to interview more frontline guys like you so I can just make more meaningful campaigns.
Thanks so much, Andy. That's brilliant. Manny.
Sorry, I was just taking myself off mute. My name is Manny. I am the Program Assistant at BC Patient Safety and Quality Council. My pledge is to speak my mind more.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Manny. And Christina.
Hi, I'm Christina Kraus. I'm the Executive Director with the Quality Council. I actually have 2 pledges now, and I have heard from the folks in the UK it's not uncommon to have multiple pledges, but my first pledge is to spend a day in residential care with frontline workers to get a better understanding of the care environment so that I can be more, understand the context more when I'm doing my work. And then my second pledge, and I'm hoping you'll join me, for those of you who have a Fitbit, one of the things that I often worry about is, as healthcare providers and people working in the system, are we looking after ourselves enough so that we can look after others? And part of that is staying healthy, so I'm going to be setting up a Fitbit group for BC Healthcare, and we're just figuring out where our goals will be to walk to collectively as a group in the province. So setting that up and hoping others will join as well.
Thanks so much, Christina. Is there anyone else who we've missed who's snuck on the call that I didn't catch?
It's Judy.
Oh, sorry?
Judy Price.
Oh, hi. How are you doing? Judy, go ahead.
Okay, I'm Judy Price. I am actually representing 3 organizations, all to do with pain patients. We have 2 clinics. There's Change Pain in Vancouver, Change Pain Clinic, the Mayo Clinic in Victoria, and I've also been asked by Pain BC Society, of which I'm on the board, to represent them. Once we learned about Change Day, we thought it was a great idea for our patients, and I proposed it to Pain BC Society, and they agreed as well. So I don't know if that's allowed, but I'm here for those 3 organizations. I haven't put my pledge online yet, but some of our doctors have already started doing it. We're trying to encourage all the people that work with us. I'm talking from the clinic side right now. We have about 40 people in total that work with us on our team. So we're going to encourage them all. But really, I will say our Change Pain and Mayo Clinic pledge is we're going to encourage and assist every single one of our patients that comes through our doors between now and Change Day and maybe afterwards to make a pledge to do something in their own lives that will support their goal of changing their pain. And so hopefully we have about 5,000 active patients between the 2 clinics, so hopefully we can help add to the numbers, but this is an important part of their treatment plan for them to make personal goals. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to link in with your, link in with Change Day.
Wonderful. Thanks so much, Judy. It's great to hear you're representing not 1, not 2, but 3 organizations. That's really wonderful. So thanks for joining us today. Thanks, everyone, for connecting on today's call. We're delighted to have you all here. So we're not going to spend a lot of time on the content. So we circulated a number of resources prior to the meeting. Really, the goal today is to focus on those big 3 questions. But I just wanted to give you, we wanted to give you a quick update today is that we sent out this infographic to the group as part of your packages. And actually, I didn't look immediately before the meeting, but we were up to 283 pledges early this morning. So even in the last couple of weeks, we've had another 50. Last week, we've had another 50 pledges come in. Our change ambassadors are up to 119 folks, have volunteered their time in the province to just raise awareness and promote Change Day BC. So we're so excited about that number. It's growing regularly, and looks like Manny just checked for me, and we're actually at 285 pledges now. So that's great. Thanks, Manny. Our partner list has grown as well from the initial report we sent to you. We are now at 23 partners and want to welcome the BC Centre for Excellence in HIV/AIDS. And they've just joined us as well, so thank you very much. So we're seeing lots of action around the province as Change Day is starting to take off. We received this wonderful photo yesterday that's up on the screen right now. For those who just have a presentation, it's slide 6. And it's a photo of a pledge tree that's been created by one of the teams. It's the Burnaby Beach Hospital Patient Navigation Team. And they've created this incredible pledge wall to gather pledges from folks. And I just wanted to share an example of some of the things that are happening around the province right now for people collecting pledges for Change Day. So in terms of the purpose of today's meeting, we had circulated a few documents. One of them was the organizational context, and I just wanted to raise that to people's attention again, or bring it to people's attention again, that if you have any ideas or suggestions, when you look at that list, if you see any gaps or areas where you think we could be reaching out to another organization, there's someone else we could connect with, please send them to us via email if you have any thoughts, and we really look forward to hearing your ideas around that so we can really work our best to extend our reach and see what we can do to really extend that reach across the province. We also circulated a terms of reference. And again, we really want to hear your thoughts, ideas. If anyone has suggestions for changes around that, we would be delighted to hear them. And does anyone have any thoughts on the terms of reference right now they'd like to mention? So again, if you have any thoughts, if any concerns or any tweaks you'd like to see to that terms of reference, you can just email them to us and we'll make the revisions or suggested changes and take a look at them and send them back to the group. As I mentioned, really today the focus is on the 3 questions. We wanted to really hear your thoughts on, how as a group we can come together to really grow and expand and make Change Day BC as successful as possible. And, really it's about how can we design and lead Change Day together? And so we're really hoping for your thoughts on these questions to help inform that. So what we've done is we popped each of these questions up on a whiteboard. And we'd like to invite people right now in terms of the questions themselves to just share their thoughts on the questions either in the chat box, on the whiteboard, or we would really like to hear from you. So the first question we had for you for today's call was, how do we define the success of Change Day BC beyond our 5,000 pledge goal? So what does success look like? We'd really like to hear your thoughts.
So, I think for me, it's just seeing the people who are involved in healthcare, because so much of, we want this to go beyond just the health system and recognize that there's all these amazing people who care deeply about other people. Seeing it, the engagement of a wide number of people around a common goal in the province, I think will build energy. So that's one.
Thanks so much, Christina. Joshua, I know you noticed you added a comment as well to the chat box around outcomes on what changes occur. So do you want to share a little more about your thoughts on that one? It looks like your line might be muted. I'll just unmute it for you, Joshua. Did you have anything to add? Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. I guess what the outcomes might be, I'm really excited about all these organizations and individuals coming together. There's some unity. I know our goals, first, like my personal goal is measurable, and I'm not sure. Outcomes took me off guard.
Oh, thanks so much, Joshua. That sounds great.
Pauline?
Yeah.
It's Kathy. I'm just thinking, when I was thinking about my pledge and when I was doing it the first time, all through that, I was going, okay, so what could be different because I'm doing this? And really that is, like, what's the outcome and how would I know? And for me, all I can say at this moment is that I would take one action, at least one action, as a result of my pledge that could make a difference. So it's kind of like the first step to maybe some further steps that could make a difference, because why am I doing it in the first place? You know, is the first thing, and then looking at, okay, so how will I use what I've learned from undertaking this pledge to make a difference and turn it into something really improvement-oriented?
Absolutely. Thanks a lot for sharing that. It's interesting hearing that continuity, the outcomes. I see a really big theme here in terms of Joshua's comments as well as some of the posts that are showing up on the whiteboard around stories. Stories, how pledges encourage others, but also stories. And somebody asked the question, so we will need to capture these stories somehow. And we've asked people to send their stories, but we'd love to see how we capture stories. And somebody suggested an online form to capture results. We'd like to hear, I think that's a brilliant idea. Are there other things that we could do to capture those results? And unfortunately, that text got cut off, so I'm not seeing the rest of it. Let me see if I can. So how can we capture stories?
It'd be great to put them on Change ABC blog and then share them within our health authorities as well through our usual communication channels.
Nice. Through the blog, usual communication channels. Joshua, you've mentioned pictures and videos. We would love people to be sending us our pictures and videos. And when we got that wonderful photograph yesterday from Burnaby Hospital, we were just delighted to be able to see what Change Day looks like in action. So, somebody suggested here, ask people to send in photos, videos, et cetera, kind of like the Clean Shots campaign. I think that's a brilliant idea, and I think that's what we really want to do is how can we reach out to people to encourage them to share their stories and share those videos and pictures. So maybe some sort of a campaign around that. I think that's a great suggestion. So the other thing that somebody has asked is, do we have any resources available for people to monitor? So the Facebook page. So there looks like a few questions there. I can answer that, or actually I think probably better to answer that one in terms of what we've got created there might be Andy. Do you want to speak about our Facebook page and what's in place right now? And we'd certainly be open to suggestions on how we can make that stronger.
Yeah, so right now we have like a community Facebook page, so that just sends out just general updates about what's going around the province. And then we also have another entity for our Change Day ambassadors. So that's just for more eager folks who want to be more involved in the campaign. So we're just putting up other type of resources, extra resources on how they can better promote and just start a discussion forum with all the other leaders. So
thanks so much, Andy.
Yeah.
Anyone have any questions or thoughts around that, how we can make that stronger? I'd love to hear your thoughts. The other thing I noticed on the pledge wall right now was just around, or the whiteboard right now, about how do we move beyond our 5,000 pledge goal, or how do we define success, is talking about if it continues past the formal date and into other areas. So do people keep pledging, they keep making commitments to change? I think that's really good. Another one here is, I think using Twitter is a huge asset. Love to hear more about that. Does someone want to speak to that idea around Twitter?
Colleen, it's Kathy again. I'm just thinking that maybe each one of us as leads for this could make a commitment to doing regular Twitter updates just to keep it flowing and keep the momentum building. And then, hopefully that will prompt other people to join in.
It's Jacqueline. I was just going to say that. And I think also, too, we can retweet each other with words of encouragement, right, which will get it out to further networks.
Yes.
That would be brilliant. Great idea.
Powerful, right?
So is there a way we could get everybody's Twitter account, and then we can just add each other? So then we can follow the feeds, right?
Absolutely. I actually, for the contact list for all of our partners for Change Day, we actually have a list of their Twitter handles for folks. It's made up of people's individual ones that might be their organizations. But I would be, I'm sure, if everyone's okay with it on the call, we could happily circulate that to the group after today's meeting.
You don't have mine, I'll send it to you, Colleen. It's Jacqueline.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. So if you have individual Twitter handles you'd like included in that list, how about you send them to us, by the end of the week, if that's all right, and we'll include them in the list and get something out early after the long weekend.
Colleen, I think you've got mine. Copy.
Wonderful. Yes, I sure do.
Thank you.
The other thing, kind of a good segue to talk about this right now, is that we're, for those of you who may not be on Twitter and are interested in getting involved, we are, at the request of our Change Day BC partners, or Change Day BC ambassadors, they've asked for a webinar on Twitter 101, and so that webinar is on our event site. It's also, I think, advertised on our Change Day resource page. So we have a Twitter 101 webinar that's happening on April 15th at noon to kind of help people come along with that. Teresa, I noticed your hand was up and I didn't unmute you in time. Is there something you wanted to add?
No, I was just going along the idea of regarding personal and association Twitter so that we can all retweet each other.
Perfect. Oh, wonderful. I noticed Judy just put hers into the chat box. That would be perfect. So how about we do that? If everyone can just pop their Twitter handle into the chat box, we can incorporate that and get that off to you quickly today. So thank you so much. Okay, well, how about we move on to the next question right now? So thinking about Change Day, and what activities or strategies can we use to make Change Day BC most successful? So what are some things we can do to keep this happening? Keep the momentum, extend our reach.
So this kind of ties in a little bit with the last question. I was just, it's Andrea, sorry. I was just looking on the website at the stories, and I wonder if there's a way, I mean, the blog stories are great, but they're integrated a little bit with some of the, what you can do promo stuff. And I wonder even, I think some people get overwhelmed at the idea of trying to think up a pledge. So is there a way to, and maybe this is here somewhere, is there a way for people to see, first name, pledge, blah, blah, blah. But also, I love the idea of the stories, but if people could submit, 250 words about this is what I did and this is why it was great, and have a bit of a running list, because I think as great as the blog is, I think a lot of people won't read through all of the stuff in there. So just sort of a thought around that.
So sort of an automated section of the page that would be focused on actions, is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, and short little snippets in that people could write their own, right? Because it's always really strong when someone says, you know what, this is what I did, and it was an amazing day, and it changed my view, and I'm going to do this for the future.
Yeah, wonderful. That's a great suggestion. Really great idea. We've heard a lot about that today, about stories, about actions, about increasing our ability to capture those actions and stories, and I think that's a really great idea. So we can certainly look into that and see what we can arrange. It's interesting with the NHS, they really focused on that. This round of their Change Day is very focused on the action piece, less so on their pledges and the number of pledges, and much more so on the action. So I think that's very aligned with that, Andrea. Someone else on the page talks about, I think Twitter will help, and I think you're so true. I think it's something like, I can't remember the numbers, it was about 60%, maybe 50% of folks, when they did a survey following their initial Change Day, had heard about it through social media. So that's a really good point. And I think your other organization having their own internal campaigns is a great point. Another picture I didn't share today was from another organization that they have a Change Day ambassador at Impact BC, and they have an internal pledge station they've created in their organization to encourage their team to pledge. So great example. Does somebody want to talk more about any internal campaigns that they have planned?
Well, we're doing a couple of things. I was going to email. We have a community open house. We're getting Van City Theatre in Vancouver, April 25th, I believe. So if, I don't know if you could send someone to have a table, or if we can get some of your swag, we could promote it there. And we're also participating in a couple of other events in the city during the summer. So having a presence at community events would definitely be positive.
Absolutely. We'd be delighted to send you swag, and we can talk more about some resources that you can use. So we'll definitely follow up with you on that, Joshua, after the call, if that works.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So at ARNVC, one of the things that we did with Change Day was that we invited any nurse who wanted to submit an idea for something they would like to see our president and our ED do for Change Day. Pledge they wanted to suggest, and they can win a $25 Starbucks gift certificate or something, but it's been quite fun to see some of the things that are suggested. Some of them maybe not realistic, but what a great way to get people interested and engaged. They're having fun with it.
Are you willing to share a few of those examples?
Yes, one of them is to have, because our president-elect, the person who will be president in October, is a guy, to have him experience the day as a female nurse. I'm not quite sure how he feels. It made us all laugh. Suggestion that the entire staff have to spend a day in a hospital bed. Experience what it's like to be a patient in an acute care ward. I don't know how we do that either, but we'll look into some of these ideas. And then there are some really wacky ones, like why not have them experience what it was like to be a nurse in the 1940s and wear the outfit and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been pretty funny to watch them come in.
Fantastic. That's great to hear. Thanks for sharing that, Andrea. So someone commented on focusing on the why rather than the what. I'd love to hear more about your thoughts on that.
Yeah, that was me, and then I spelled Ben with the wrong way. So I was thinking of Simon Sinek, and again, this is about big change, and why am I doing this? If I'm thinking personally about why am I wanting to make this change, as opposed to what is it I'm going to be doing. And again, I was just trying to think of a strategy. To make it go viral, it's got to be personal. Why am I doing this? Anyway, it's just a thought.
Oh, I think it's a really important thought, actually. It's just that whole framing of why is this important.
Yeah, but why am I choosing what I'm doing rather than I'm just going to choose to do something? I'm just thinking about how do we express that? How do we make people think why this is important? I don't have an answer here. I'm just thinking, because often it's easy to come up with what am I going to do, but what's the why behind it?
Yeah, I think really good thought. Do other people have thoughts on how we could extend that and have that messaging, that framing reach farther across the province?
So if you do, because I think it's probably different for each person, Sandra again, but if you were to do, the submittable form that sort of, you could actually say, why did you choose this? And what, because then it gives, because I might choose to, like the mobile, if I do the mobile caravan, it's because actually I'm very invested in the issue around homelessness all over BC, not just the Lower Mainland. I'm very interested in homelessness and the impacts that it has on health. So that would be my reason why I would be so focused on that. But everybody would have a different reason, right? So if you could have a short, like, why I chose this and the impact it had, I think that would be really powerful.
But that inspires me more than what you're doing is why you're doing it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Kathy. That's what I was getting to earlier. Why does this matter to me? Because that's really where it starts, the commitment, and everyone can find something to do, but it's why does it matter so much? I think that would be a great way to extend it out and engage more people and to really keep the momentum going. and create sustainable change because we kind of got in touch with something inside of ourselves that reminded us that this is really important and recommitted ourselves to it.
Nice, thank you. Yes.
Hi, it's Deb. I was just wanted to ask, it's Deb Pollack. I just wanted to ask Kathy a question. So when you were out yesterday with a porter, did it make a difference to the porter that you were there watching what they do every day?
Well, I actually did it in mid-March, and I didn't ask the porters that, but they did express great appreciation that I cared enough about what they do to spend the day with them, and they appreciated the recognition for sure. And I think also they appreciated being able to profile what they do and you know, show how proud they are of the work that they do and the difference that they make to the patient experience. That's what the true essence was for them, to show me what it is that they do every day. And they weren't putting it on for me because I could see the relationships that they have with everybody at that site they work with every day, and it was so positive. So I think that for them it was a chance to really show what it's like the day in the life and how committed they are to the patient.
Thank you, because for me it seems like it's a reciprocal thing. You do something because why you're doing it is because you know you want to make a difference or you want to see something good happen out of it, but it's also the recipient of whatever you do. Thank you.
That's a great idea. I think, you know, going forward, I'm going to go back to those reporters and ask them that, and also build that in as I do the next one. Thank you.
Thanks a lot for sharing that question, Ev, and that's great. Thanks very much, Kathy.
For sure.
So there's I noticed someone put up a point here. You know, I'd love to hear, they've talked about the health authorities, and does anyone want to share from the health authorities what some of the things they've got planned for Change ABC?
It's Jacqueline from Vancouver Coastal. We're actually just meeting about that as a leadership group in the next few weeks, but we do have our communications specialist working with us, so I think we will be looking at various avenues to try to communicate it, and again, going out through our Twitter networks and trying to take some of the conversations that have happened on the whiteboard here today about focusing on the why rather than the what, I think will be a really good strategy.
Nice. Great. Thank you so much, Jacqueline, for sharing that. Anyone else want to share what their plans are or where they're at? Maybe before we move on to the next question, is there just anything else someone wants to add around the activities or strategies we can use to make Change ABC successful?
Well, I think if all the partners are talking about it in their social media and that, it'll be repetition and it'll gain more awareness. What I find is we have so many different events and things happening through the year, and if people kind of get overwhelmed with all the information, and you know, if you have a lot of people talking about the same thing, then it becomes more relevant. It kind of rises to the top of all the other things that are going on.
Thank you so much. Great. I know, so just so you're all aware, and I know it's in the briefing note, we do have the ambassadors meeting once a month, so those are our volunteer champions for Change ABC, and of course all of you are welcome to attend those meetings too if you'd like to. They'll be profiling some of the activities that they're doing to promote Change Day in their areas, and there's already some just brilliant ideas coming in from those groups. One of the things we're looking at doing with the ambassadors in particular is we're going to have a little bit of friendly competition that's happening. We're going to be using an app called Goose Chase, which is going to challenge them to do something called missions, which will be different ideas of things they could try to do. Those ideas will be coming from the ambassadors. So, you know, we're going to be asking them for some suggestions of missions they'd like to challenge their fellow ambassadors to complete relating to promoting Change Day. And certainly would love any of your ideas on things that folks could do. So some examples of missions that we're going to have are things like, you know, do some sort of event to promote Change Day at your site, and they'll submit a photo of that to as evidence that they've completed that mission. And so it's just going to make it kind of fun and playful, while at the same time providing some ideas for things that they could do from the learning of what others are doing across the province.
It sounds like the Ice Bucket Challenge for ALS.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, everyone. We're going to go to our last question then. And so just what do we do on Change Day BC itself? So, you know, Change Day is on October 15th, 2015, and we really wanted to hear from you as our partners. What do we want to see Change Day BC look like? And so in the NHS, they just had their Change Day on March 11th, and they had a 12-hour change-a-thon, which was very fantastic and wonderful to see the energy. What do we want to do on our Change Day here in BC? What would we like that to look like? Nice. So from Kendall Ho, who couldn't join us today, he's from UBC's eHealth Strategy Office. He said to hold Change Day carnivals around the province, so local events and celebrations. Great. Thanks for sharing that.
So I have a question. Do you think if there was, I know in Saskatchewan they held the 1-hour WebEx and did a bit of celebration and had examples shared, what do people think about people joining in virtually into something? Is it too tough in the work environment to get to somewhere? Would we only get types of people who are in roles that sort of are used to calls and things like that, or are we better off to try and get people to take action locally? What do you think, Jacqueline? What are your thoughts on that?
I think she just signed off.
Gone, yeah. Bad timing. I'm going to put her on the spot because I know her well enough to do that. Josh, you laughed. What do you think?
Andrew speaking up, you get picked on.
Well, I was late, so I guess. Yeah, it'd definitely be good to get some media coverage. And I was thinking it'd be neat if we could all get together somehow, but I know logistically it could be a little complicated. You know, if we had some type of conference or whatever. But events take a lot of work. And October is also a busy time for us. So.
It's a great idea, though, Joshua. So some sort of event bringing people together. We've heard media coverage. Get the help.
Do you have a YouTube channel?
We do have a YouTube channel.
Yeah, maybe you could do like some, maybe there's ways we could broadcast live certain things that are happening in different areas. You know, we get a sign-in time, or like, I'm not sure how you could do it, but some way to connect everybody that's involved so we don't have to drive or fly.
Nice. We have, oh, go ahead, please.
Oh, sorry. It's Kathy again. I like that idea. I was also thinking, you know, the way in which the Change Day BC announcement was made at the Quality Forum, and how we immediately, like, the lights dimmed and it's kind of all dramatic, and then you see that beautiful video and it kind of draws you in. I wonder if even that's one of the things we could do on Change Day, is to work with all of our communications leads across all the health authorities and other partners at the same time that day, that we all somehow get that video in front of everyone, even if we have to put it on our, our own websites, but draw attention to people to tune in at that exact time. I don't know if that would be possible to coordinate, but just so that we create a moment in time when everybody got this, I don't know what it would be, but just sort of this wave of Change Day BC on that day.
Oh, wonderful. That's a great idea, a really nice idea, so something really coordinated.
That'd be great. You could also get the lights done at BC Place, right? So you can get, I don't know if you know about that, you can get like a light theme done. And
Well, tell us more about that.
I don't know about that.
Oh, so we're actually on the wait list. So basically you pick a day, and they can change all the lighting on the roof, and in the Coliseum and on their broadcasts, like say they did it for they were purple. I can't remember what organization it was. So they changed the whole roof to purple, and then right inside the Coliseum, people were informed about what that cause was, and then they put it on the sports channels. Today we're supporting this cause, or it's free. You just have to give them some notice.
Neat idea. That's a brilliant idea. Thanks for sharing that, Joshua.
It's a great idea.
It'd be nice if we had at our lunch, I know you weren't able to join us, Joshua, but we had, for those of you who weren't there, we had something called Gobos, and they display like words or phrases with lights. And so it'd be kind of neat to do something with lights. There's a way we could do that and raise more attention.
Well, the thing is, then you get the attention of the media, because it's, in the heart of the city. People want to know what these lights are about. And it's one way to, reach out to the masses. And it'd be neat to have, pictures or something that they could show in their broadcasts or in their screens of Change Day or participants. Sort of like what you're doing with the website.
Nice. There's been a few references to media coverage, convincing the CBC or other networks to do a series on Change Day. Would love to hear people's thoughts or energy ideas around that piece.
It's Adele here, so sorry I had to step out for a while. Can you hear me?
Yes, sure thing.
Now open phone. Just to add the piece around the lights, so those of you who don't know me, I'm a neonatologist as well. So World Prematurity Day uses that tool, which is around the world. And so we light up monuments and features all over the world, so like Niagara, that's on the purple one, and buildings in Victoria and the other cities, Vancouver. And there's a whole list of other organizations that use different colors. So actually, if you look some of these things up online, I know for the legislature in Victoria, they have a list of the different light colors for the different events throughout the year. So if we're sticking with orange, then, that might be something to think about, and to extend it beyond Vancouver and around BC.
Nice. Thanks, Adele. Great addition.
It's Judy here.
Hi. Hi.
Hello?
Hello, go ahead.
It's Judy.
Hi, Judy.
I'm the one who put up the media coverage, and what sparked my idea there, it's not really original, but recently there was a reporter at CBC that decided to do a series on pain, and because I'm involved with pain, but what that did was she really took it on and did several days in a row to highlight our cause. And the way they work in media now, of course, is it gets into the paper, there's blogs, it's on their website and all that. So if we could, and I thought it really raised the profile of chronic pain. So once they get something they want to do, they can really use their resources to leverage it. So it's just an idea to propose to somebody like that to get something going and make it just really raises awareness out there.
Nice. Thank you so much. I know we did do a media call out when we did our launch. We didn't have a huge uptake for that, so I think you're so right. If we can get that traction, I think it would be really, really powerful.
Well, I think the media, we have the same issue. Like some of the stuff that we've asked them to cover, I'm sure everyone would want to know about. And then the time that they do stories, usually it's kind of random. We'll send them a press release, and then you have to be very careful on what you send because sometimes they don't even edit it. And I think if we're all aligned and they see all these different organizations and people coming together, they're probably more likely going to want to cover a story, especially if we're all tweeting it and posting it and have it visible. Because like we have an office in New West. Just in New West, there's over 300 charities and organizations that are competing or asking for a space in the paper or in the media. I can't imagine what it's like all over the province. So every day they've got all these different causes to try and decide what they're going to cover. And what's appealing about Change Day is you have everyone coming together, and it's a positive news story. And I think if we were all to reach out to our contacts, we'll probably get some more coverage on it.
That sounds great. That sounds great. Well, wonderful. Really appreciate people's ideas today. Is there anything else you want to add on our Change Day BC itself idea board?
It's Ev Pollock. A really harebrained idea, but nevertheless worth a thought. I was thinking about the time years ago when the Coke commercial, went along where they had this big group of people singing, "You want the world to change, blah, blah, blah." Do people remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And I was thinking, I don't know if anybody has any connections with a group of people that might sing, but wouldn't it be cool if someone wrote a song and lyrics and that was part of our, our way of celebrating? And then people connect the song to the event, and then it could be an ongoing, annual thing.
Oh, that'd be great. We actually have a youth group. We do recordings at Nimbus, and we also have around 20 music therapists that work with us and volunteer with us throughout the year.
Anybody got a connection with David Foster?
Oh, wow.
Great.
No, I wish somebody did. No, that's what I was asking.
I know somebody who does some work for his foundation here. I could maybe poke around. Yeah.
Absolutely, because he's local.
And then we could link him up with Josh's choir and music therapist. Because it's so amazing to bring in providers, music therapists is part of that. Like, how cool would that be?
And Michael Bubbles, too.
What's that?
And Michael Bubbles, too. Michael Bublé.
No, sorry, I was a little slow on that.
Sorry. Again, we're brainstorming. Sorry, I've just taken off on your idea.
What about taking that youth group and making a flash mob video to the music?
Yes.
Well, I guess we have to have the music first, right?
Yeah, they'd probably love to do a flash mob, right?
Yeah.
And would it be a rockin' song or would it be a moving song?
Well, I don't know. I guess it would be up to them.
Yeah, moving emotionally.
Yeah.
Somebody had a great
I like
idea.
the competition idea.
Yeah,
That'd be great.
I think so too. So basically,
that'd be amazing.
A challenge out to people to say, you know, what are you going to do to submit around this? I love that idea. Anyone else want to add to that?
Can you imagine how much fun that would be?
It would be fun.
Yeah. Put it on the YouTube channel.
I think that would actually be a funner way to do it. Yeah.
Sorry, what was that?
I said we could put it on iTunes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
On the council website, everywhere.
Absolutely. Oh, somebody says, does somebody know Nelly Furtado? That'd be a peppy song.
Actually, I know her cousin personally.
Really? How well?
Quite well.
There's a relative of hers that works here at Island Health, floor below us.
Yeah.
One of your team, Richard.
Yes,
Yes, we know. That's what we were saying.
We were just talking about that.
I just sitting here with Ben, who's on our team, and I had you on mute, and I was telling him about the David Foster idea, and his dad went to high school with him.
Oh,
so he's texting his dad right now.
Yes.
You never know.
We can make this happen.
I know.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
And you guys work on Nellie on your end, too.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll talk to her cousin.
Well, you know, it was kind of interesting because we were just brainstorming the other day about some ideas for what some of these missions could be, and Robin had a great idea about, you know, could we challenge them to get a local celebrity to make a pledge or do something for Change ABC? So those would be great examples of people who are from the province, who use the system, who are part of our health social care system, and how could we bring them into this?
Well, what about the Canucks? Like, just knowing they've got Canuck Place. And I now sit on that board quality committee, so I could talk to them and see if we might be able to pull them in. Like, especially like you think about BXS, although he upset me once. But anyways, I'll forgive him on that one. He followed me on Twitter for a very short amount of time.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's a long story. But
what if you were to
health, right? Like a lot of them are connected to, and there's another one who's with the Autism Network as well, Canucks Autism Network. Used to be the guy who got injured in the eye. Malhotra.
Oh, yeah. That's
Sorry,
really...
what were you going to say, Josh? I cut you off, I think.
Well, I kind of like that competition idea. What if you guys put together something real simple, like Be the Face of Change in BC, and then just have like a competition? People can upload a video to YouTube, to your channel, or tweet something, and you have a competition, and then, you know, they can maybe get their song. We could set up a recording day at Nimbus or something, but it might bring more attention to the cause, and it's participatory, and some people like that sort of thing.
Absolutely, I think it's great. I also like somebody's suggestion that the health minister be the judge. Bring him involved.
Yeah.
Some great ideas. Anything else before we wrap up today's call? So we just we'll really give you back some time in your day today, and just wanted to say thank you very much to all of you who've come on board as partners, Partnership Alliance members, for your energy, for your ideas today, and for taking the time to come together to help direct this work moving forward. We're hoping that we can meet as a group sort of every 6 to 8 weeks throughout the campaign, if that works for folks. What we were going to do is send out another doodle poll, and just confirm, find a time that works for the most people so we can come together again, and we'll meet for an hour. And of course, between now and then, if you have any questions, any ideas, any thoughts, anything at all, please don't hesitate to contact us at any time. The other thing we're really trying to do is with partners is really trying to collaborate. So as we're doing our own Twitter campaigns, as we're tweeting about Change Day, we're trying to also profile things that our partners might be doing. So if there's, we're trying to really connect with everyone and keep sort of connecting with the different organizations. I know I've spoken with many of you on the phone in the past about how we can keep linking in. And so we really want to hear your ideas moving forward. So we're here, and we're just delighted to have you as partners. Any final questions before we wrap up today? Take the silence on the line as people are all done, and just thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful time.
Colleen.
My pleasure.
Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Hello?